Welcome to the Student Guide to the Higher Project Qualification, focusing on a report outcome. We are Pearson Edexcel, and we can't wait to share with you support to get you on the right track to a successful HPQ. Any HPQ, whether it is a report, a performance, or an artifact, begins with you choosing a project and coming up with a plan of what you want to do. This is your chance to really think hard about what you enjoy doing, what you would like to achieve, and anticipate any challenges or risks you might discover along the way. Throughout the project you will record all of the activity you do and constantly refer back to your original plan. Carry out research and apply it to your project outcomes. And towards the end of the project, you will be reviewing and analyzing everything you learned or discovered along the way. You will finish by arriving at a conclusion about how the project went, and also how well you performed during your project. An HPQ is a great qualification for students who want to develop and showcase their skills. Projects typically involve the same steps, whether you are doing a project in school or working on a project in industry. The steps include choosing, planning, and managing the project from start to finish, researching relevant information that helps you understand the topic or area of focus you are exploring and applying this to your project, applying different skills throughout the project. Skills like creativity to come up with new ideas, critical thinking to scrutinize information, or simply time management to make sure you finish on time. And lastly, a review of the project and the outcomes as a whole, including your own performance. Project qualifications are assessed against 4 assessment objectives, referred to as AOs. For AO1, you will be assessed on how well you choose, plan, and manage your projects. To begin with, you need to select an appropriate topic. This needs to be something you feel passionate about or interested in. There is nothing worse than losing interest in your projects halfway through. Once you have a topic, it's useful to create a working title. For a report, this is often phrased as a question, such as, should organic food change how we shop? Or, should children be forced to exercise? At an early stage, it's just about having a starting point, but over time, you might find that you refine and improve your question. Once you identify a suitable question to answer, you need to decide what outcome you want to achieve. This video is going to focus on a written report, but you could also create a performance, design something, or even make a product. The choice is yours. Once you feel like you have a title in mind, you should speak to your teacher or tutor and begin filling in your first document called the project proposal form. During your project, you will keep returning back to your teacher or tutor. These meetings are an opportunity to discuss with them your progress and can happen as often as you need. You will record these in the second key document called the activity log. The activity log is also a place where you can record your own thoughts about your progress, any problems that you discover, and the solutions you use to solve them. It is essentially a diary, so record entries in order and include the date and time of each entry and, when applicable, who was involved. With a better idea about your project title, you can create a plan for your project, which is recorded in section 3 of the project proposal form. Try to keep your plan flexible and keep it updated throughout the project. If you want to see examples of these filled in by students, head over to the Pearson Edexcel website by searching for Edexcel Higher Project Qualification and then navigate your way to course materials. In summary, AO1 is where you will be assessed on how well you choose, plan, and manage your project, and you will showcase your evidence for this in the project proposal form and the activity log. Next, we are going to look at AO2. AO2 focuses on research. For this assessment objective, we are looking at how well you gather research and how well you apply it to your projects. For HPQ, it is suitable to gather a wide range of sources of research, but at least 3 is essential. Research can be in different types, but it is essential that you consider the reliability of the source each time. This means making sure sources are trustworthy, accurate, and credible. Using the internet to find articles, blogs, or news reports is one really useful source of information, but there will be a lot of choice. Interviewing a person is a very different type of source, and choosing the right person to speak to will be essential. Depending on your projects, you will want to decide on the most suitable research approach. For example, There might be lots of articles and academic papers available on the topic you are interested in, but less opportunity to speak to people through an interview or focus group. Similarly, your topic could be very contemporary, and speaking to people is the best source of information, especially if that person is an expert or has lived experience. When we source information ourselves from people, this creates new information that is original, i.e., no one else has done it. This is known as primary research. If we source information from research other people have done, this is known as secondary research. Your challenge is to decide and choose the right sources. Part of managing your project is recording your sources of research. If you are finding information online or in books, it's important to provide a record of where you found it. This is known as referencing, and is often recorded in a list called a bibliography. If you source information from conversations, interviews, observations, or similar, you need to record this in your activity log, noting what you did, where you did it, and when it took place. Here are some types of research you might want to consider for your project. As you can see, there are a lot. The main thing to remember is that different sources will be more or less useful to your project, and you should be critical about which you include in your work. In summary, AO2 is where you will be assessed on the research you carry out and how you apply it to your project. Your evidence will be in your written assignment, but a recording of your research will be essential to assessing you, which will include a bibliography or drawn from your activity log, depending on what research you do. Next, we are going to look at AO3. AO3 is all about selecting and applying skills to complete the projects. This is your project outcome, and in this case, is your written report. If you were creating a performance, your project's outcome would be the performance you create, whilst the HPQ taking a design or artifact approach would have the design or artifact work as the project's outcome. When considering your project outcome, it's important to explore different ways of solving the problem or answering the question. Students sometimes fixate on the outcome early on, but a key part of the project is to consider alternative ways of achieving something. Try to remain critical and evaluate possible alternative answers and outcomes to your project wherever possible, even if you ultimately produce the outcome you first decided upon at the start of the project. The assessment of AO3 is looking at what your project is about, what you did throughout the project, which will all be documented in your activity log, and the results or outcomes you achieved. Writing a good report requires you to think about how you are going to present your thoughts and ideas throughout the projects. Just like when you read a book, an article online, or a newspaper, using a structure to your writing helps to present the information in a way that aids the reader, in this case, your assessor. Your written report needs to have the following: headings and sections, paragraphs, a title page at the start, a contents page setting out the different sections, page numbers, labeling whenever you include a photograph, diagram, or table, a font size that is suitable to read, and a font style that is comfortable for the reader, footnotes at the base of the page, and references. All of these are typical of written work. But if you want to learn more, it is worth reading a little about each one, or asking your teacher to help you. Software like Microsoft Word or Google Docs will be able to create these for you and help you to present your report in the best way. A written report is a great way to convey your story and share your projects. To do this well, you need to make sure your writing is as good as it can be. This includes checking your spelling, using suitable grammar and punctuation, writing with vocabulary which is relevant to the topic, and writing in a style that suits a report. If you are looking to achieve a professional feel to your report, aim to write in a neutral, formal way, not overly emphasizing one side of an argument compared to another. The best way to achieve a high-quality report is to create a plan for your report, and as you progress through the projects, improve each draft that you produce. A key question that many students have is, how long should my report be? To guide you, we recommend that a well-researched and written project on a topic that is suitable can be completed in between 750 and 2,500 words. Students typically write closer to the higher number of words in order to have sufficient space to cover everything they did in their project. The key aim here is to not focus on word count, but on the skills you are showcasing to your assessor. Can you not only demonstrate your excellent use of technology, But use your writing to show off skills like problem solving, creativity, or how well you can compare and contrast different sources. Your written report is your showpiece, so you need to really put the effort in to show off your skills and capabilities. Give it maximum effort, and use the report to outline how well you worked throughout the project. In summary, AO3 is where you will be assessed on your projects and all of the evidence you provide alongside the report. Finally, we're going to look at AO4. AO4 is the culmination of your project, where it all comes together, and you carry out your review. This is often a missed opportunity for students who have done a really brilliant artifact or design, but fail to reflect upon and review their project properly. Firstly, the assessment of this can be in any form you want. It could be a short written summary to complement your performance, or it could be a discussion with your teacher or tutor. It could also be a presentation to an audience, or even a video you record. The aim of any of these is to draw conclusions about your project, your approach, and consider what you could have done differently, and the impact that might have had. In order to draw a useful conclusion, you will need to look back to the start of your project, when you identified your project objectives. Did you achieve them? Why? Why not? You don't have to achieve all your objectives to have a successful project. It may be that you learned so much from not being able to achieve them. What skills did you learn or develop? Are you a more critical thinker? Are you able to identify fake news better? Do you have a greater appreciation of art or music? What is it that you personally achieved? If you could go back and do it all again, what would you do differently? Would you do different research? Would you have spoken to different people? Why? And finally, how well did you perform throughout the project? What do you feel you could have done better? And what ideas do you have to follow up on your work? It is always great to hear when students have found a passion for a topic or area of interest, and also great to hear where they want to keep going, possibly onto an HPQ in the future. In summary, AO4 is your chance to review your project and your personal performance throughout the project. It can be part of your report, or separate. If you decide to do a presentation, it does not need to be recorded, but your assessor will need to complete an observation form to document the activity for you. This concludes this presentation about a higher project qualification taking a report approach. If you want to see examples of student reports, read more about HPQs, or download the various forms ready to start your project, head over to the Pearson Edexcel website by searching Edexcel Higher Project Qualification and navigating to course materials. Good luck on your project!